Yeah, you're not falling for that. This ain't Relax Alex. This isn't even Smash. This is an even better platform fighter. Rivals of Aether and the crossover fighter Ori and Sane. First off, why Ori and Sane? Sane is barely a character and they contribute surprisingly little to the fighter. This is a far cry from the integration that Luma had. Rosalina in Luma was a true puppet fighter. Luma had just as many moves as Rosalina. But Sane? This orb only powers up heavy attacks when he's close. Oh, and he's in the neutral special, which is literally the worst move in Rivals of Aether, but we'll get into that later. Hold your horses. Enough nitpicking the name, let's get into the history. Ori was a character that nobody expected. This was a character reveal comparable to Snake. By that I mean this was a reveal that shattered expectations about what a newcomer could be. Come to think of it, this reveal mirrors Snake in a lot of ways. It was the first of 2 third-party character reveals, and after their release, fans were given the tools to make any character they could possibly dream of. Granted, it was official in Ethers and borderline hacking and Brawl, but the logic still fits. Anyway, as the first crossover fighter, they had to represent Ori well. Did they? Well, let's see. The core design concepts of Ori and Rivals are remarkably similar. It's all about the natural flow from one action into the next. In Rivals, that flow is juggling your opponent in huge fancy combos. In Ori, that flow is juggling yourself between hazards and enemies. Each of these games are masters in flowing between one input and the next. And Ori's moveset flows between Ori and Rivals flawlessly. He controls just like you'd expect him to. Momentum, acceleration, and even some key bindings are the same between games. Case in point, the neutral special. It's the same move across both games, the Spirit Flame. Dan Fernacci was so dedicated to translating the character, he even made this move the worst part of the moveset. I touched on this in my video on Ori, but long story short, the combat in Ori is garbage, at least at the beginning, when your only option is this stupid move. And in Rivals, this is reflected very well. It's a homing projectile that only does 1% and gets put on a short cooldown after 3 shots. The charged version was given a tweak to be more viable though, so that's nice. In Ori, the charge flame was done by holding the attack button for a short time and releasing it to make a small explosion that did more damage and could attack multiple enemies, with the downside of using up some energy. Rivals doesn't have energy, so this move is slightly more interesting. Holding the special attack button for a short time makes Sane start charging the attack, but then you can release the button and Sane keeps charging it. This makes Ori free to set up a combo, since if you position your opponent right, you basically get a free smash attack once Sane's done charging. The other special attacks are taken directly from Ori as well. The up special is Kuro's Feather, allowing for tons of mid-air horizontal movement. The side special is Light Burst, launching an arcing projectile that changes its path depending on how long you hold the button. And the down special is Bash, which functions differently. Bash and Ori activated instantly when you press the button close to an enemy. Time froze for as long as you held it, and you launched in the direction you chose, while the enemy is launched in the opposite direction. This would be broken in Rivals, so instead there's a big wind-up where you can't change your velocity. This makes for a great finisher in most combos. The jabs and tilts are all original, but I'm more than happy since it allows me to do this. This is why I play video games. While slightly more obscure, the up air looks remarkably similar to the grounded bash. The nair also looks similar to the animation that plays when you jump on a health flower thing. The down air functions like the ground pound, just another stall and stomp down air, and the up smash is the charge jump. And that's it, all the other moves are original. Honestly, this one was pretty easy. A bunch of the moves are cut and dry references, and I loved seeing them. So, overall, did Dan succeed in turning Ori into a rival? Well, yeah, have you even been watching? This character is so fun to play and portrays the character accurately. As a fan of Ori and the Blind Forest, this inclusion just makes me happy. Almost as happy as the sequel. And that's right, this video was a fake out. We're talking about Will-O-the-Wisps now. It looks so fun. You have a sword and drill and spiders and...